pouring their coffees, etc., and then we'll get going.
Exactly. I've got people jumping in, as you say. Let's give everyone 1 more minute and then we can get started.
I see a few cheeky Devoteam is joining.
All right. We're at 1 minute past. We are recording the session, so for anyone who's jumping in late, they will be able to hear it anyway. But perhaps we can get started.
Yeah, let's do it. Do you want to?
Great. Perfect. Yeah, I can kick it off. So firstly, welcome to the last session for the year for What's New in Google Workspace, where we look at all the latest features, or not all, it's a curated set of features that have been released over the past few months. So your hosts, myself and Pablo. So we both have dual roles, but I head up the work transformation tribe for EMEA, and I also head up the Google Workspace practice here in the Nordics, and joined by my esteemed colleague, Pablo.
Hi, thank you. Yeah, for those that don't know me, I work with all our customers, or lots of our customers, I should say, around EMEA on the customer success. But here in the UK, I am head of AI innovation. So that's a new one, actually, that second one. Yeah, back to you, Simone. Thank you.
Great. So we've really got a jam-packed session for you today, with some upcoming events, some news, and of course, Workspace and Gemini feature updates. We also have a little surprise at the end. I don't want to give it away, so you have to stick around to find out what that will be, and it will be worth it, I promise. But perhaps some rules of engagement for this call. The session is being recorded. We love you having your camera on. If you don't want your face being shown in recording, you're most welcome to turn your camera off. Please post questions in the Q&A. To do that, you can, on the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, just click on there's a shapes, triangle, square, circle. And of course, just check the Q&A first before maybe typing your question. Somebody may have already asked that question. And if they have, then you can upvote it using the thumbs up.
I also want to add, Simone, we're also live streaming to YouTube as well. So you will be able to see this on our channel, and you are currently live if your camera is on. No, actually, it's just the speakers on live stream, actually. So don't worry, it's just people in the meet that can see you.
In terms of questions, we'll check questions at the end of each section. So we normally break the sections into the communication tools, collaboration tools, admin features, and also Gemini. So I think instead of waiting till the end, we can take them at the end of the sections there. And of course, it's pretty informal as well. We can also, when we're taking those questions, in the open mic, you can ask them via that way as well. But without further ado, let's jump into it. So we have an online event coming up next week. So in the Workspace team, we do these sessions quarterly, and that's also the same for our data and AI team, right? So you're going to be able to hear live from our in-house data experts, Tristan van Tielen, who heads up the machine learning tribe for EMEA. And also, I think he's going to be joined by, I think it's probably going to be Sven Hermans, who's our head of data as well. So listen in. These guys have some great, I think, updates that they're going to give you. Register for the session. We've got the link. In fact, we can probably put the registration link in the chat as well. I'll make sure we do that later, so you can already register now for that session. Good news. Pablo, I think this one is for you. It's Chrome OS.
So before I go into this slide, I'm going to say I'm a little bit nervous. It's the first time that we say this publicly. It's such a good deal we're about to talk about that I'm a little bit nervous that too many people are going to jump on it and too many businesses want to try it. So a little bit of background here. Chrome OS is leading the charge this year. It's got a lot of focus. Google's putting a lot of effort into Chrome OS. You're going to see some very big changes coming. We've already seen some big changes, but even more big changes coming. There's a new SKU as well. CEP is known for short, Chrome Enterprise Plus. And for those of you who know BeyondCorp, it's BeyondCorp turned into a Chrome management style from Chrome. It's really interesting stuff. If you want to have a look at what's new, then definitely reach out. There's too much to talk about in this session. There's just absolutely loads of new features coming. But also we wanted to give you guys a sneak peek at our newly announced program, which is EMEA-wide. So anyone, UK, Sweden, anywhere, Benelux, you can all take advantage of this deal. So I'll go ahead and reveal the deal. It's called a Jumpstart program. So Google has partnered with us to be able to provide 40 hours of planning configuration, 20 support tickets for at no cost to you. The only thing that you need to dedicate to is activating 40 licenses on your domain. There's one caveat. If you think, oh yes, I'm going to nab that right now, you must not have purchased a Chrome license in your environment in the last 2 years. Now, if you have one or two, reach out and we can see what we do, but no promises. It's for anyone who has not tried Chrome, curious to see what the changes are, how it's changed, because it has changed dramatically, and if it works for your business, reach out. We can take a look at how Chrome might work for you. Very interesting stuff happening there. Honestly, I think we probably need another session on this. Chrome OS Flex is fascinating, and also is covered by these as well. So definitely worth a look, and reach out if you want to take a look at what it can do for you. Good. I can take some questions as well at the end if you like, if you've got any, but we'll move on for now. Thank you, Simone.
Thanks, Pablo. Okay, so what updates do we have for the communication tools? So first one, huddles. Anyone who's familiar with the Slack, our Slack users, they will recognize this. So huddles is going to be instantly on. You may already have this, audio first meetings in Google Chat. So it's date of release, rapid release, 27th of November, and scheduled release 6th of January. And if you don't know, actually, what is the difference between rapid versus scheduled release? Scheduled release is enabled on your Google Workspace admin console by default. But with the rapid release track, users on your domain will have access to the features immediately once they are released. Now, some organizations choose to have rapid release set on their test domains, for example. So they have an opportunity to test the features first and have scheduled release set on the production environment. So I just thought I'd let you know, because this is going to be in all the slides. We talk about rapid release, scheduled release, and just anticipating if we get a question about that, what it is. But huddles, it's available across all SKUs, and again, it's enabled by default for users with Google Meet turned on. This is, I just got it recently actually, but it's really using the power of Google Meet in Google Chat to make it a more seamless experience. So users can choose to essentially start a huddle immediately, so that you kind of skip having to switch between applications. You can also choose to add video on that huddle if you want, and share your screen, but by default it's just audio first.
You're going to have to do a huddle with me. I don't have it yet, and I'm really looking forward to this.
I got it yesterday.
Well, see, this is it. The amount of times I get frustrated when you send a link and then someone misses it, or two people send a link. Has anyone had that before? Thumbs up if you say, let's catch up, and then two people send the link, and then which one do you join? Which one do you, one of them gets deleted. That'd be a thing of the past. I think this is definitely going to be much easier to do that with. And
let me tell you how I found out, because normally you in your chat space, you go to the bar at the bottom, and you might add a meet link because you need to have a quick conversation with the person or the group, and it wasn't there, and I thought, where's my meet link? And that's when I discovered it's up in the top right-hand corner of the chat space. There's a video icon with a drop-down arrow, and that's where you're going to find the option to share a meet link or start a huddle. So everyone I probably can see is going to their Google Chat space now and seeing if they have it released or not. At first, it takes some getting used to, but I love it now. So I did a few of these yesterday. So huddles, that's something that's changing, going to be a game changer again in keeping you in that one application, so you're not having to switch screens. It takes you to the Meet link. No, for huddle, it keeps you in the chat space. Okay, next one. What do we have? Exactly. Organize Google Chat conversations with custom sections on rapid release from the 25th of November, on scheduled release for the 9th of December, across all SKUs, including consumer, and it's enabled by default. Now, this has been one of the most highly requested features from our customers and Google Workspace users. See, there's lots of celebrations there, so a lot of people have been waiting for this. Google have essentially enhanced the user experience so that you can now organize your chat conversations into custom sections on the left-hand menu of chat. This can be useful for scenarios when you might want users, when users might want to group chat conversations and spaces by a topic, team, or a project. And also there will be, as you see on the screen here on the right bottom hand side of the screen, there is a separate section for apps, which is really handy. It's really easy to create these. To create a custom section, you're just going to go to the direct messages or spaces section in chat. You can hover over the three, it's showing it now on the screen, hover over the three-dot menu, select create new section, and you name the custom section. Then you're able to drag and drop the conversations to sections, or you can use the three-dot menu again and click move. So again, just organizing those chats so it makes it easy to find what you need. And again, a similar experience if you're a Slack user. This is a similar configuration of chats. Okay, exactly. Following on with Google Chat, so Google are making quite a few investments in chat recently, but you can now respond to conversations in the home screen view. Google have introduced something, again, I just got this yesterday. It's called the split pane in the home view, right? So it allows you to be able to respond directly to messages and manage, multiple conversations without leaving the Google Chat home screen. So I don't know, for those of you that are using home screen, you'd have to click on the message, it would open it out into a new window as such. This split pane approach is really just keeping you in the same view. So there on the screen, you see it's splitting the screen. You can answer it and then go back to the home screen. Yep, lots of chat updates.
Just because I'm conscious that not everyone uses chat, so bear with us just a little bit. It's just that there's been a big focus on chat and the communications. I did hunt down other things. There wasn't any. This quarter has been full whack on chat, so apologies if you're waiting.
And I see that there's a question. I'm going to address it right now. So Fabrice, thank you. Have you already seen companies moving from Slack to Google Chat? And the answer is yes. And I know this is a topic close to Pablo's heart, but for those organizations that might be wanting to, look at reducing what we call, technical debt, if you're using third parties for some services that Google might be able to fulfill in that way, this is a good use case. And with the investments we're seeing, Google pouring into Google Chat now, probably be seeing a bit more of that. I don't know if you have anything you want to add there, Pablo?
Oh, just that one thing that does make that a little bit easier as well. There is now a migration API and a tool, so you can migrate from Slack to chat if you want to. And now with Gemini, if you get Gemini licenses, you're going to see a lot of stuff going on in chat in the Gemini space too.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to have a look and reach out, see what that looks like, let us know.
Great. Okay, so that's it for the updates in the communication tools. Let's move on to the collaboration tools. Now, I don't know if you want to take this one, Pablo, or you want
I can.
Yep.
I forgot to change your face on the slide, but yes, I can take this one. So I want a bit of reaction from the people in the room, actually, or in the webinar. So thumbs up if you've used smart chips before. Like, I'd expect everyone to have a thumbs up by now. Like, I've got the odd few. Oh, okay, all right. Not as many as I'd like. So then you've all got a task to do, is go and use smart chips, because it's fantastic. So if you haven't used smart chips before, it's the @ symbol, and I might even just cheekily show you what that looks like. I haven't prepared much of a demo, but it's such a simple feature that I think it'll be easy enough to demo. So I'm going to steal screen sharing for just a second, Simone, if that's okay. Let's go into this.
Go for it.
Right, let me just close my Gemini bar. There we go. So Google already gives you a sneak peek of some of the smart chips at the top here. You can see my screen, right? Yeah. And these are pre-button smart chips, if you like. But the @ symbol will give you this drop down. If I can get it working, there we go. And then you'll be able to add smart chips. Now, there's some really nice ones. One of my favorites is tasks. I always say this is, with great power comes great responsibility. So giving someone else a task, you can assign it to them. It will appear in their tasks, in their calendar, on their phone, as a notification on their phone if they have tasks enabled. And so it will just keep chasing them until they've done it. And you've assigned them the task. So that's a nice smart chip. But some of the other more powerful ones, or as powerful ones, I should say, is a product roadmap, those kinds of things. Now, smart chips is used also by Gemini if you have it. But what's coming is and if we go back to the slide, if you just give me a second, are you still presenting, or do I need to? Yeah, I can.
Shall I share?
I'll share.
Yeah.
Perfect. Give me a sec. Present this tab. So in this slide, you should see the slide. Yes. In this slide, you should see. It might be a bit pixelated. Give it a second to just catch up. A task tracker. So before, you could put a task, and it would just be a simple task that you assign to someone. Now you can put a table of tasks, and then you can assign the person and set a separate column with the date and the status of that task. So it's actually a tracker in the document, but in their Google Tasks, it shows as one task with the date, which is actually going to be extremely useful. Now, tiny sneak peek here, and there's some assumptions being made here. Obviously, Devoteam isn't Google, so I can't speak for Google, but we're going to see this probably end up being baked into how Gemini outputs tasks when it comes to meeting notes, things like that. So it's all kind of building on that path. And you'll see that there's a new building blocks menu that's coming as well on the right-hand side to be able to do things like contact lists, decision logs. These are actually really useful. If you're marketing, you're going to love contact lists. You can have a contact tracker and decision log making as well. Again, this is going to support what Gemini is going to be able to do in the very near future as well. So laying the foundations here, which is great. It is rapid release from the 19th of November. However, I don't seem to have it. Simone doesn't seem to have it yet. If you have, thumbs up if you have it, if you see it, if you do the @ symbol, I'd love to know if you do. But scheduled release is 12th December, which that should be starting soon. So watch that space. It's for all, oh, so there you go, someone has it. I'm going to chase you for a screenshot, and Max. So it's for all SKUs. Basically, anyone who has access to docs, including consumer, will be able to use it. If you're on Google Workspace, you need to have the Google Tasks service enabled. It is by default, so you shouldn't have to do an action to be able to use that. Good. So give me a reaction. Who thinks they're going to use the new version of task tracking in Sheets? Yes. Okay. Okay. Good. I want to hear your feedback, especially if you've already got it. I'm a bit jealous. I'm not going to lie. For sure. I'm going to go to the next slide, and I think it might be you, Simone. Yeah. Oh no, it's me. I feel like this should have been you though, so I'm going to hand it back to you.
We missed the chat update.
Oh, okay. Oh, I can do it. There's no problem. I'll take it, no problem. So this one's pretty straightforward, actually. It won't take long to explain. So if you're an avid user of Google Forms, then you will enjoy this one. Have you ever had a Google form that you've only ever wanted a certain audience to be able to respond to? So for example, maybe someone needs to get some feedback from a certain team. You don't want someone else filling in that form. So soon within the publish settings in forms, you can restrict who can respond down to the user, group, or target audience. I find this really useful because I think it can be quite easy for a form to get forwarded and anyone to grab that form, especially if it's like a sign-up form for something. So we should be seeing this very soon. It's been rapid release 5th of November. I haven't checked if I have actually. So do check if you've got it. It's on anyone who's got access to Google Forms. Quick show of hands though, I'm curious, who uses target audiences? Thumbs up if you use a target audience in your business, because I think this is probably one of the nicest use cases for forms. Target audiences, no one using target audiences. They are fantastic. If you want to look at how to set them up and what they can do for you in your business, please reach out. They've been around for a while and they're definitely underutilized, as we can see here. So yeah, let us know if this is useful and how you'll use it.
I mean, target audiences, right? Different countries, if you have organizations that are, geographically disparate, or, teams. Yeah, lots of different use cases for target audiences.
Perfect. Oh, this one's me as well. Okay. This one has been the most impacting for myself in the last week or so than any of the what's new. Okay, and I really do want to see if anyone else has been using this recently. So thumbs up if you've added the Google Drive chat app to your chat. So it's a bit of a chat and drive. So I didn't know which section to put it in. So it's landed in collaboration. Okay, we've got on thumbs up. So I don't know about you, but if someone comments me in a document, it's in an email. My mailbox has over 3,000 unread emails, don't tell anyone. So it's probably going to get lost. But now, if I've got the chat drive app, it pings me like a message, and for some reason, those are definitely things I pay more attention to. And I can reply to the comment in the document straight there. This is so good. If someone's got a question, if you're one of those customers that have rolling docs with us and comment to us, you might see I've been reacting more recently and quicker because of the app in chat. So you can respond to chats, you can change sharing settings when someone requests access to a file, all within chat, which is really, really nice. So it's a staggered rollout from the 18th of November for all release tracks, and you should all have it by 15th of Jan. Do check, so click new chat and click app if you want to add the Drive app into your chat. Okay, good. Let's have a look. What's next? This one has got a little bit of a demo. So I want to understand how many of people in the webinar in the room are formula geeks. Is that the polite way of putting it? Because when I saw this, I kind of thought, too technical for me. And then just having a read, actually, this is very useful. So I don't know if you ever reference data like in the same sheet or in a separate tab, and then you have to specify the sheet name and then the columns, and then sometimes you get the column off, and it just gets really messy. So now with these new tables that Google's put in, so you can see here in the screenshot, this project tracker, you can literally reference the name of the table. So you can say, in your formula, you can say project tracker, and then you can go into whatever formula you're going to do. And I can show you what that looks like if you want. Now, the big advantage here is if you move the table, it will follow where that table goes. It's literally attached to the table by name. It's like an object almost, which is really useful. Let me just see if I can show you what that looks like. I'm also just keeping an eye on time. So Devoteamers, please definitely keep me on time track as well. So I'm going to change my sharing. Just give me 2 seconds. Oops, let me just, there we go. Okay, so in here, I'm going to just pick a random table that is pre-created by Google for me. So I'm going to put that in here. And so in here, you should just see, yeah, there's some sample data. Thank you, Google. That's actually really helpful. So I'm going to close this side panel. By the way, thumbs up if you've used the pre-created tables that Google gives you nowadays. They're really nicely formatted. It was a very pleasant surprise when they just randomly appeared, I have to admit. So in here, I can do equals, and then what you'll see is if I drag and highlight some of these cells, look at what it's called at the top there. I don't know if you can see it. Let me try and zoom in a bit for you guys. There we go. So you can see it's called recruitment applications. So equals is referencing this table, and then it's selecting all data. So I can do all data includes the head, and the bottom, and the data in the middle. I can just do data. It will exclude the head and any totals, which is really nice. And then I can just show which columns by name, which is even nicer. So I say applicant column to team column, rather than A1 to A15 to D1 to D15. So named formulas, basically. And if I just show you what that might look like, so that's going to error, I know, that's going to error. So I'm just going to do equals, and then I'll put count if. And now in my range section, so any formula that has a range section, I can just highlight that range. And it says all. I'm just going to change all so it doesn't include the header. And I can say data. And that is my range, which is nice. It's all named. And I can put higher. So now I just did, oh, not higher. Now I just did a formula which, for some reason, I probably haven't spelled higher wrong. I've spelled it right. Oh, I've not put it in speech marks. There we go. So I've just used a count if to show me how many people I should hire by literally dragging and referencing that table. So now if I move this formula, the table is going to be absolute in that formula, which is nice. So I'll stop sharing that just now, and I'll go back to the slides for you. While I do that, any formula gurus in here that might find that helpful? Yeah, okay. Oh, okay, good. Let me just go back to presenting this tab. Perfect. And then let's go to the next one. Good. So PDFs. So I know there was a lot of excitement about signatures and e-signatures. Actually, show a quick thumbs up who has been trying to use or has been using e-signatures in the Google Docs. Great. Okay, there's quite a few already that were very quick on the mark. So for anyone who's not aware what e-signatures in Google Docs is, it's very similar to DocuSign. So you can create a Google Doc and then list where the signature should go. And so with this update, you can now do it on PDFs, which is possibly the biggest bit of feedback that we've heard whenever we tell anyone about this feature. So if you have a PDF in your drive, you can add a signature in the PDF and you can send it out for signature. Now, I do want to iterate, this is very important because there has been some confusion. The e-signatures doesn't let you necessarily sign someone else's contract. So if they send you a contract, they have to use DocuSign or e-signatures. But this is more designed for you to send out your contract or what contract you're looking at getting signed with your e-signatures in Google Drive. So that's in PDF now. Supports PDF. So anyone was waiting for that? I got less reaction to that than I thought I would. I thought I'd get more celebratory reaction to that. Okay, good. That's what I wanted to see. Some more reactions. Good. So watch this space. It's gradually rolling out from December 4th. So that's literally yesterday. So keep refreshing and see if you get that. The plans there are listed on the left. Also, if you don't see e-signatures now, it's probably turned off on your domain. Jump in and turn that on, please, as well. Good. Oh, we're going into admin. So for those administrators out here, it gets a little bit more API and security-ish, if that's what you're looking for. So this one's an interesting one, a little bit hard to describe, so bear with me. So what's new here is if you have third-party applications, many of you do. Many of you have shadow IT, admit it, because everyone does. And so here is where we can create more restrictive scopes. Now, you're probably thinking, I can already restrict scopes. You can, but you can do this by application and more granular. So an example of this might be if you've got a signature tool that you've installed as a third-party application, very common, that signature tool needs to be able to access the Gmail settings to be able to set the signature, but it doesn't need to access all the mail in that account. So actually, you can go as granular to choose which service, but also within that service, you can select which scopes that application should have access to. So if I'm putting in something like Grammarly and it's wanting to be able to download a list of all my calendar events, then I'm going to raise one eyebrow, if I can, rock style, and think this is not correct. And you can just jump into the admin console and restrict it. I do recommend reviewing the applications you have in the business and reducing that scope. I'm going to say this. I was dabbling on saying this or not. There's one of those AI tools, which is not Gemini, that does request access to Drive. And perhaps this is a good feature to restrict what kind of data is going into other AI applications that shouldn't be. So you fill in the gaps with what I've said there, but this is a very good tool for that. Good. And if you want me to fill in the gaps for you, reach out to me and we'll get on a call and I'll describe exactly. Good. Client-side encryption. Okay, I'm also intrigued how many people are using this. So I know that there's maybe one or two customers we have that do use this, but I'm curious who in the call, which of your businesses use client-side encryption? Give me a thumbs up if you do. I'm expecting no thumbs, by the way. But if you use client-side, no, okay, good. Well, it might be, okay, we do have one. Okay, good. So if you are using client-side encryption, or if you have a requirement to use client-side encryption, one of the things that used to break is being able to do vault takeout and just general data export, because that file is encrypted with a certificate that is local to that user that's viewing it. You would not be able to export them. So now if you have a certificate or access to the certificate, you can do vault legal holds, take out and export that data and be able to view them as local files unencrypted if you have the certificate to unencrypt them. So it's basically adding that extra functionality that was removed when you enabled client-side encryption. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's lots of other functionality that does break with client-side encryption, but it's definitely one of those legal requirements that might have stopped you from using client-side encryption. So that's an interesting one. I mean, yeah, this is an interesting conversation to have. Do I need client-side encryption, and do you need to reduce your functionality that dramatic to need it? Is a different question as well. Good. And policy visualization across Google Docs, Sheets, Slides, Vids, and Drive. Now, I like this, and I love that this is also in Consumer, by the way. This is a general update to the service, I would call this. And what this is going to do, it's going to provide a very easy, quick visual cue as to what the security limitations are on a document. So you'll see the icon I put on the slide at the top right. That's the icon you'll see when there is a security limitation on the file. And then you'll be able to click it and view what security limitations have been put on that file. So for example, thumbs up if you've done this before, on a file that you send out, you can restrict printing, you can restrict clipboard, so you can't copy to clipboard any text. Any of those kinds of things, make a copy, you can't download. Actually, it's more restrictive than sending out a PDF. I've always said that this is a better way of doing it than attaching a PDF. So if you do those restrictions, it's going to be clear off the bat at the top next to the name. Okay, and you can click it to see what restrictions are included. That should be rolling out pretty soon. So you'll see that only on documents that are restricted to you, actually. Good. Okay. Thumbs up if you've been waiting for this. Now, this is DLP, or data classification, sorry, for Gmail. Of course you have been, Andreas. You are the one person I expect to be looking forward to this. So these are classification labels that you can apply to your mail according to rules. So let me roll back a little bit. If you have DLP rules in your environment, then and you have labels, so you labels that you want to apply to certain types of categories of document, confidential, not confidential, and you have DLP rules that may apply those labels, you can now apply those rules to Gmail, so content in Gmail. That means that messages can be labeled, but also they can be restricted, revoked, and stopped from being able to be sent. The actual article on Google's What's New blog shows a lot of screenshots of how this works. If you try and send, let's say you put a label saying confidential and shouldn't be sent externally, if someone tries to send that email to an external email address, it bounces back, just like a could not deliver email. It will say this could not be sent due to your corporation's DLP rules. So really looking forward to this. It's starting to roll out from November 1st, but it's an extended rollout. So yes, refresh for sure and see if you get it, but no guarantees you'll see it soon. Okay, and let's move on. Actually, before I move on, who's going to look at implementing this? Because I'm curious how many businesses have actually thought about putting this into Gmail. Okay, some not sures. Okay, I like it. Okay, good. I'd love to hear some feedback, especially if you're a regular with touching base with your CSM and Devoteam on this one. Go ahead, Simone.
No, it's also been available in open beta, so I think we have some customers also who are already testing this. So I don't know if we have any of them on the call today, but it would definitely be interesting hearing your feedback.
Cool. Or if you're shy because it's live, you can give us your feedback afterwards as well.
Exactly. And actually, while we're talking about it, because we're talking about beta, and I know we often get the question, how do I apply or join a beta for some of these? There is a form, right, Pablo? So
yes. So it's actually dependent on the feature and the service. So more often than not, there's a form. I do try and link it on these slides if the link is in the blog post, but otherwise you can reach out to us. We will definitely find that link for you if it's not already available. There's a difference between beta, closed beta, and open beta. Open beta are much easier to get on. Closed betas, you have to almost beg, or we have to beg on your behalf to get on. So if it is a closed beta, your best bet is to do it fast. It's usually first come, first serve for closed betas. But yes, reach out if you're unable to find where to get onto that beta. Thanks, Simon. That's a really good point. Good. And we've got some questions coming in. I'm excited for the questions. I'm going to try and speed up a little bit. Drive inventory. This actually was in last quarters, but I thought it's such an important feature that I wanted to raise it again because actually there's a lot going on here. So show of hands or thumbs up if you ever had the tool GAT or CloudLock or any of those security tools that dive into your drive and have a look at sharing settings or anything like that. No thumbs up. Okay. Well, the good news is that this feature will allow you to export an inventory, a historic inventory, which has been notoriously difficult to do, of all of your drive content, the sharing settings, the current posture, and on that BigQuery, you can do some really nice data reports on, who shares the most files externally, all those kinds of things. So this has been quite some challenge to do with Drive APIs, because Drive APIs, you have to call each file, check the files, sharing setting, and then log it. But actually now we can export that all to BigQuery and do some really nice visuals with Looker or Looker Studio to understand what is the posture of your file storage and sharing. Honestly, this is a no-brainer. I just actually turned it on for my family Google Workspace domain because I thought it was fantastic. I think it's something that everyone should definitely take a look at. It's almost a no-brainer in terms of security. If you need any help, or if you need to, there's the beta. This one's got a link. So if you need to sign on to the beta, we can send you that link. It's on the blog post as well, and then we can also help you link that to BigQuery if you need to. Good. Thumbs up if you want to turn that on. If you well, firstly, okay, so if you want to, great. Has anyone actually turned it on? So I think 1 or 2 people have said, okay, so, okay, good, Bart turned it on, that's great. Okay, very good. I'm glad that this has not gone unnoticed. I think it's a massive feature. Good. Oh, Gemini. This is what you guys have been waiting for, right? Surely, the Gemini section. So this is a Google Workspace quarterly, but there's no way we can avoid any Gemini functionalities just because it's such a big focus at Google. So I think it's Simone, you've got yeah, I'll hand over to you for now.
I do. And I see that we just have kind of under 5 minutes left for this session. So I'm just going to, go quickly through this one, and then I think you've got a couple of Gemini slides as well. But so Gemini in Google Docs, you can now create images. So following the release of image generation in Google Slides with Help Me Visualize, you can now generate images in Google Docs with Gemini. On rapid release from the 15th of November, scheduled release from the 16th of December, available for all Gemini for Google Workspace licenses and enabled by default. They're basically using the new image generation capabilities with Google's latest image generation model called Imagen 3. A lot of you have probably heard that already, but it essentially means that you don't need external image editors. You're able to, instead of doing creating an image elsewhere and inserting it into your doc, you're able to do it directly in the doc now. You can create some really cool visuals doing this. For example, cover images. You can create some really cool banners for your docs. You can also choose the style, so you can tell it if you want, to be more like a photographic image, or if it should be a line drawing. You can also change the size of it, if it should be, tall, narrow, wide. So there's lots of possibilities there. Exactly. Gone are the days of trolling through stock image services, right? So yeah, this is really cool. For the sake of time, Pablo, jump to the next one.
Okay. Oh, both of us jumped. I'll go back. All right, good. Okay, really quickly, mobile app is out. It is available for Google Workspace users. So we had this question so much, and it's not just Android, it's also iOS. However, there's one big caveat. So you can sign into your Google Workspace account in the Gemini app on mobile. However, if your business pushes out Android for work profiles, it will not work. I found out this the sad and hard way. So at the moment, Android for work profiles are not supported with Gemini app. Watch this space. But if you have a non-corporate managed device, or one that doesn't have a work profile, or just an iOS device, you can use the Gemini app. And if you have the Gemini license, you'll get the full-blown latest learning model and all those features in the app as well. It is fantastically useful. I was struggling to understand why I would use it, but actually giving it a go, it can be really useful, especially when you're up and about. So give it a try. The example there with taking a picture is absolutely excellent. So I'm just going to move on real quick. So if I had £1 for every time someone asked me, when is Gemini going to support calendar features, I'd retire. But the point here is it's coming. I think it's challenging, and so we're going to see tiny little feature drops within Gemini. So the side panel, as you can see from my account last night, will actually let you schedule events in your calendar. So if you're from Gmail, by the way, so from the Gmail side panel, you can ask to schedule your yoga class every morning from the side panel. And you can also view what meeting you have the following morning, for example. So I'm going to skip that. It's extended and staggered rollout from the 13th of November, and we should have it by the 6th of December, so tomorrow, if you don't already have it. So give it a go. Good. Okay. Gems, thumbs up if you've used Gems. Oh, wow, that's a lot. Good. Okay. Oh, I'm very glad to see so many thumbs up. More thumbs up than normal Google features, which is definitely a positive there. So if you've made a gem, I recently made a gem to make this deck, actually. I have a gem that helps me make each one of these slides for each feature. So if you have got a gem, you could add a Google Doc. Now you can add offline files such as text, Word documents, Excel files, CSVs. So you can add up to 10 files that can be up to 100 megabytes. This is really good because for some reason the staff handbook or the corporate handbook is often a PDF, which I find frustrating. So if you wanted to make a gem that would be able to answer questions about what is allowed and not allowed in your business, then you can do that now with the PDF that you got given from HR. Oh, I forgot there's a little animation, but I am going to skip through it really quickly, unfortunately, but it is about gems and uploading files. Good. Make sure your workspace extensions is on in Gemini to be able to use it. That's really important too. Good. Oh, did I miss a slide? No. So wait, there's more. This is why we're rushing, and apologies, we're rushing to the end there to answer some questions as well. As something a little bit different this quarter, we've decided to do a small competition. So the competition is, and I know I'm going to see, I'm seeing some reactions already, of some people know this competition already, but actually this is a way of us doing it for all of our customers as well that join these sessions. So submit your Christmas jumper designs for your chance to win a small gift from Devoteam. Now, the rules are they must be AI generated. I'm going to check. We have watermarks. I don't want anyone drawing things and passing it off as AI. That's the first and probably the last time you'll hear me say that. The image must be of a Christmas jumper or a scene with a Christmas jumper in it. And it must be themed with your company in there somewhere. Make it unique, make it funny, make it creative. Submissions are in the form on there, and we can also send out the link if you haven't whipped up your phone quick enough. I will give you my 2 a.m. attempt with Gemini on the screen just now for a Devoteam. It's not going to win any prizes, but there's our Devoteam AI-generated Christmas jumper. Laura, if you're on, I think we should make this jumper. I would definitely like one. So please get creative. I really, really want to see how creative you can get. And I should be able to tell which business it's from in the submission. So let's make sure that's clear as well. You've got quite a hard competition. There's some really fantastic Christmas jumper designs out there. Good. I think we can pause. I'll leave this on actually. Game on. Yes, exactly. I'll pause. We can go through some of those questions. Simone, did we get?
We just have one more from Fabrice. Do you know when the Gemini app on iOS will be available for enterprise?
Yes, so it should be available from now. So it depends on how quickly your App Store updates. So refresh the App Store is probably the right way of putting it. So if you haven't been able to download it and log in just yet, make sure your Gemini app is updated. So if it's out of date, it won't work. And try and refresh the Apple Store. You should be able to log in with your enterprise account as pretty much from today, but it's a slow rollout, so it should finish the rollout tomorrow. Okay, and then...
Is it? No more questions?
Oh,
so
we had more than that.
We're at the end of the session. But looking forward to seeing those Christmas jumper designs. So it's going to be
I haven't restricted how many you put up there, but we will. But please do log your name and email address because you need it to win, and we will be judging if you put too many of those up from one person. Great. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks everyone for joining today. And yeah, let's see who the winner is.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.